What's going on YouTube? Headed back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as Tron to BTC. As always, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notification, leave a giant thumbs up, and let's jump right into today's episode. So guys, as you know, we're obviously going to be looking at the current coin market cap, looking at the current price and market analysis. You will know that there's some very interesting things happening right now within the current space. Some very interesting things that I'm starting to notice, and I do want to explain with you guys, specifically within Litecoin and the other cryptocurrencies, more so the fact that they are in some sort of downtrend, which is huge, and it's pretty much been confirmed over the past, I'd say, 2 or 3 days, and that's kind of what I'd like to go into specifics with you. So as you guys can see, we're on the current coin market cap to start. And you'll notice market cap is 278.1 bill, 24-hour volume is 59.4 bill, and then Bitcoin dominance is 64.6%. So out of the top 10 cryptos, everything seems to be up, which is odd, because when we go to the charts, you'll notice that things are actually down. So a little interesting, but for the most part, everything is up. Everything's in green. Top 10 cryptos are all in green. Everything is doing quite well, starting to resettle back to the upside. As we know, we did see quite a bit of tumbling in terms of prices retracing to lower levels before, as of yesterday, the day before. But for the most part, things are up. Like, the markets are entirely green. There are very little coins up double digits, but for the most part, they are all doing quite well. But you'll notice out of these cryptocurrencies, like the top, I'd say 5, all seemingly are following the same pattern, similar to Bitcoin. They are all almost identical, which means they're very in sync in terms of their pricing. So what I want to show you guys now is the charts, because I find this very interesting. There's a very common thing happening with all these coins. So you'll notice right now we are on Litecoin to start. Litecoin US dollar on Coinbase. You'll notice Litecoin is having a downtrend, and its downtrend has been, it was a little difficult to notice at first, but then as we started to discuss and really go in depth and kind of zoom outwards into Litecoin, we noticed that there were more resistances up top, and it started to form a downtrend. What's interesting to notice is that Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Tron, if this loads up, there we go, all have downtrends. They all have resistances, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I do want to go into specifics as to why. So you'll notice we have on Litecoin 1, 2, 3, 4 points of contact indicating this downtrend is here to stay. You'll notice we're trading at around 40 on the RSI, which isn't too bad. It's almost, nearing oversold, but for the most part, it is in a neutral area. And you can see that with this downtrend forming right here, there are a couple supports to look out for. So if the price does continue to travel along this and we do not break resistance, definitely a retest of $88 and then potentially a retest of $79. Reason being is this will most likely cap us out nearing the oversold level. If we do fall from 94 to 80, indicating a $14 drop, we will see the price most likely move into an oversold market, indicating the bottom of this bear market, and then we could start to see some swings. But really, we're looking for confirmation right now all along the markets, mainly because until we break the downtrend, we are going to be falling. So we really need some sort of confirmation here of movement like this, breaking this red band, and then we can potentially start to see prices floating up to higher levels, potentially, 125, even 140. Do I think this bear market is over yet? I think in the next couple of days, yes. I think we're wrapping it up. I don't think this is a long-term thing. It's a very healthy consolidation as we pull back down, and then we should start to see movement and volume move back into the markets, and then we should see in the next couple of weeks prices move up to 143. Since being in this market for about 2 years now, and only, I think, making videos for about a year, maybe a little bit longer. I think I just broke in June my 1-year anniversary. So for the most part, from the markets in this time that I've been in here, what I've seen is these are very temporary. This is not long term. It's not, sustainable. Eventually, we start to swing to the opposite direction. So, I mean, I've seen the prices as high as $20,000 for Bitcoin, as low as $3,000, and then back to $10,000. So we do have some major spikes within the market. So you do have to, keep a considerable eye and understand that this is not it is not permanent. It's temporary. Another thing to point out is that Litecoin is finally back in between its high-low MMA. unlike the fact that we were extremely overbought before back in June, we're currently now trading at 50 on the RSI. So this is a huge thing that we needed, which is another indication to me that this is pretty much the end of the downtrend, mainly because of how overbought we were. And we were above the high-low middle moving average. We were extremely overextended at 140, and then consolidation was definitely needed, which we saw and we found, moving the price back lower down into the 50 on the RSI, indicating, consolidation and sideways trading. So the fact that we're in between not only the red and green band, it does give us some, authority to think that we are starting to head up to higher levels. Now, I do just want to move back out to the daily and then check out Bitcoin, and then we'll look at the other cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin obviously is having a major downtrend too. 1 to 3 points of confirmation on, pretty much telling us that we are, I don't want to say overbought, but we are a little overextended. We are above the high-low MMA. We do need to come back down to here, which I think is what's going to happen. We're going to retest bottom support, so expect an anticipated $8,750 Bitcoin, and I think until then we're not going to see any movement to the upside. Litecoin is officially intertwined now with its high-low MMA. You can see Bitcoin on the other hand is not, so I'm anticipating that 8750 to be some sort of factor within today's or the next couple of days charting. So before we see any sort of breaks to the upside, this needs to be broken right here. This movement right here, we have not only the downtrend, the purple support, and the high-low and middle moving averages. So consolidation like this, and then we could see movement to the upside like that. That nice break, breaking over the red band right there. Lastly, to look at Ethereum out of the top 3 blue chip cryptocurrencies. Ethereum is also in a downtrend. You can see this red band right here is indicating consolidation and downwards pressure. We've had numerous retests of here. Besides this is the only weary thing, but for the most part we've seen retested, which ultimately led to the coin falling lower, and we're seemingly having that same thing happen right now as we retest this top of the red band, and now we could most definitely start to consolidate and pull back down to the downside. So we're really looking for, once again, consolidation on the other cryptocurrencies. We're looking for that consolidation within Bitcoin and Litecoin. I do think Litecoin and Bitcoin are the ones that are leading the market for the rest of the altcoins today. But my main watch as of right now has switched and converted onto Bitcoin. Now, it's very interesting. We were doing a lot of short-term trading in the past, which I know has slightly changed, but for good reason. It's very hard to be trading in a bearish market until we get into shorting, and that's something that if you guys have an interest in, comment down below. But potentially shorting cryptocurrency is an option too for you guys in regards to buying at a certain price, selling it off once you get a hold of it, buying it lower, and then giving that amount of Bitcoin back to somebody. That is another form of making money. So in this bear market, we are pretty much seeing consolidation down to the downside, and it's pretty risky right now. It's very hard to make money in this, and I know you guys want to invest short term, but these blue chip cryptos are not something to be involved with at the current moment in terms of short term trading, because there's really no areas to get involved in. You bought in at 12,000, you would have been down to 9,300. The only really big play-ish could have been to buy at around, I'd say, $9,500 and a sell at almost $11,000, and that's a semi-okay, but it's really not that big, and that could have been your biggest money maker. But if you didn't get out soon enough, you would have consolidated all the way back down to practically the same price that you bought it at. So you really have to be wary of what's going on right now. That's why I like to push long-term trading as a backup in a fall. But otherwise, looking at Tron, you can see Tron is also a great cryptocurrency to be charting right now, because you can see it's in an ascending or descending wedge right here, and we are starting to see resistance at the bottom, or sorry, support at the bottom right here, consolidating out, resistance at the top, opening up this channel right here, indicating that we are kind of stuck in here and consolidation is needed for this coin. So really the obvious plays are probably just going to consolidate out here, and then we're either going to break to a lower all-time low, or which would be nice, is after consolidation we break back up and retest the high-low MMA, which would be a great play on Tron. But that pretty much is it, guys. I know it gets slow, especially with the charts not really moving or doing anything. We've pretty much just been retracing and consolidating back down ever since 22nd of June, and I know that gets boring. I've seen it. I'm watching the analytics of you guys, and you guys are slowly losing interest, but it's only short term, guys. Eventually we will start to move and climb back up, and we'll jump right on this. But as of right now, when the markets are bearish, it's very hard to invest. It's very hard to be buying in short term because you lose money on these trades, and that's kind of the person I am. But if you guys have any other opinions or ideas, definitely drop it down below in the comments. I will be buying that Bitcoin cryptocurrency food, which is going to be pretty cool. But otherwise, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Make sure to subscribe, turn up those notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.